Hi, good evening, all. This is SK. We have started this new session where we recap bar by bar every bar and see like what kind of setups we look, and we can memorize those kind of setups and see if again these like these setups are happening. Breakout, push one, push two, second entry long. Like these are the couple of setups which I trade, and then we go for that. This first candle, it's a dodgy candle, which is which has almost what about wow, it has almost 6 points. Have we would I have traded this candle? No. And I would have not traded the next candle as well. Reason that I'm not sure. Bulls or bears, I don't know who's going to win here. As we have a tail above, tail at the bottom, where this candle opened, there we close. So it's an indecision candle. So we should wait for the setup to happen before we go for it. Again, if you see, this is more likely an indecision candle as well, but giving us some kind of a look, like that we are going a little bit down. But as we go down, the same price range, 1857, same price range, it closed. That means bears are selling above it, bulls are selling below it. So that means this is a very crucial point as of now. 1858, 1857, 1859, around this target price area, we can get a breakout now. And we go for the next candle. You see, bulls might have tried to break out to above, and we saw this kind of a bear price action. This is a very strong a bear candle, where we can easily see that we are going for the next leg down. But most importantly, would I have shorted this candle here or not? I might have shorted this candle with the stop 1858, and I would have lost about 4 points to the open, because this is truly looking a bear candle. This is looking like we are getting a bear breakout here. At least to the support, which is about 10 point support. But what we saw at the next candle is we saw a bounce. Now again, see, have I shorted this candle? How do I short this candle? I short this candle, I put a limit order. 2 ticks down, 2 ticks below this. That means after the formation of this candle, let's say this candle closes at 1854. Let's say it closes at 1855. My order will only get filled if the price goes to 1854.50. So I put 2 to 3 tick filling area, for the follow through, so that I know the candle is going towards my side, like the bear side. Have Let's say I would have shorted this while it was forming. Let's say I shorted about 1855. We saw this, but our stop should be at the price where we saw this kind of a price action, which is 1858, where the price is revolving, where the bulls and bears are revolving. The other thing is we have a very strong bear bar, we have a very strong bull bar. So this is showing us that there's a tug of war going on. So now I will only trade if we are above or below high or low of the day, well above high of the day or well below low of the day. I will not be taking no positions in between here. Next leg we saw, we closed above the high, so this is a buy. This is truly a buy. And we should buy for any reason now, because bulls have a follow through. Bulls have shown that we are going for the next leg up now, and we saw there is a follow through again. When we saw these kind of tails, we should move our stops here. After the close of this candle, our stop is 1863. And next candle we saw dodgy candle. Our stop is here. We are in profit. We were long here. And we have our stop here. We are still making money. So this is a push one, pull back with the tails on the bottom. Are we buying this? Are we shorting this? What we are doing here? For me, this is something like this is push one. We are looking very strong. Three bull candles, bull bodies. Over here we had two bear bodies, we have two bear bodies, three bull bodies means we are going for the next leg up there. This is the push one, we have tails, but all these tails, all these bear bars have tails in the bottom, tails in the high, so that means bulls and bears trying for a breakout here. Like we have a push one, we should go for the push two. And this is the candle where we saw the push 2 is coming. Our limit order should be above 1864, 2 to 3 ticks above that. We got filled and we make about 3 to 4 point scalp with the next push. This is what happened here. This is the candle where buyers are coming, and all the shorts who have shorted the market here, they are going for they're short covering their positions as well. Then we saw a dodgy candle. Then we saw a bear attempt. After a bear attempt, but we are at the push two, looking very strong. Over here, look at how strong we have the bull bars and how weak we have the bear bars. It itself tells us that bulls are strong and bears are weak here. And we saw this kind of a price section again. This is a third push. So exhaustion candles, very big candle. This is almost 67. This is almost 10-point candle. Like a dollar move. In S&P. So this is something like this is an exhaustion candle. Can we get a next push up or not? For me, this is a push 3. So for after push 3, if there is not a follow through, or it looks like an exhaustion candle, we should get a deeper pullback here. And we saw a pullback. Is it a buy yet? It's only a buy if we have the candle closing well above this low with the second entry. There is, they just sold the market. We just go for the next leg down, and this is the support where this was the stop we had, but this is the support as well. We should not close below that. So as the bears closed below this, so we know for one thing, now the next bull candle will not be a buy. Next bull candle will be a short covering. If bulls were that strong, they would not have let this candle close here. They would have seen at least some kind of a tail here. There is nothing whatsoever. So next bull bar is not a buy. This is a bull bar. Is it a buy? No. We closed below this. We went way below this. Are we buying this? This is a first entry. Are we buying this? No, we are not buying this. This is, again, understand, exhaustion candle. The pullback is deep. Pullback has taken the support. After this, we know that somewhere bulls are weak. Bulls are very weak here. So what we are looking here is that this is the short covering. We have reached the target price, which was here. We reached our target price. From the target price, the shorts covered, but are we buying this? I will only buy this if I have a second entry long here. Otherwise, it's not a buy. Instead, this bounce is a short. We should sell this short. And this is what we saw. There was no follow through. There was no follow through buying, and we saw this kind of a selling. So this is kind of a push 1. This is push 2, but push 2 has a long tail. That means there are some strong buyers, strong bulls who are buying for any reason. Like they will buy for any reason 2 to 4 ticks below 1854, or sometimes they take this kind of a support like 18. This is the support from yesterday. Like most of the institutions, those who are trading a large volume, like they don't have tight stops. They let the market to move a little bit, 2 to 5 to 10 points as well in a day, scaling higher, scaling lower. But a person like you and me, a retailer who is looking to make living out of it, should not try these kind of things. So for me, this is a buy. No, this is a sell. Only it's a sell if it gives me a follow through 2 to 3 tick below 1864. And yes, there is a follow through. Again, this is two tails. Let's say these two tails, what are they telling you? They are telling us that the bounce is coming. Buyers are buying. And we have reached almost at our another support level, which is 1859. So we should see some kind of a bounce here. And that's what happened. There was no follow through here. Like we saw kind of a bounce. If we were shorted here, we should have covered our position, made 4 or 5 points, and we are in profit. We're definitely in profit. this is the push two, push one, push two. So after push two, this is the push three. So after this, we are near the low of the day. So definitely I'm not shorting the market. I will only short the market if I get a second entry short, or I will go long if I get a second entry long. But over here, this is the third push. With the third bear push, we are getting the bull pullback, deeper pullback, a pullback which can be 1865 or the breakout point. Let's see what we get. We had push three, bull push three, we saw deeper pullback. We have a bear push three, we're gonna get bull pullback. So like next candle. Next candle is a first entry. Anything above it with the second entry, we should go along for a quick scalp or quick 2 to 3 4 point, whatever we can get. 2 3 tick above. If I get filled, like I would like to take a next scalp here or next swing here. Reason is his third push near the low of the day. So like this is very prominent. This is what we saw. Like this candle, these bears were so weak they could not take this low. If they would have taken this low here, which is 1856 low of this candle, we would have seen next leg down. They could not able to do that. So everybody who's scaled in lower, they might in one candle itself, it was wow, 7 to 8 point gain, in one candle. So it was a good move. So are we still bullish? Yes. Like now our stop should be about 1860, or like we can take 75% off, and we can see if we get any follow through. Good. If the follow through phase, we sell it at the market. This is what we saw. Like we saw the follow through, big tail reaching to our target price over here, or we can say over here. We saw kind of a pullback. So now any pullback is coming, like that pullback, if that's a shallow pullback above the low of this thing, it's a buy. And remember, we are reaching at 11:15, like when the time most of the traders lose money, a lot of money. We saw a pullback, but it's a very big pullback. It has taken two bull bars and half of the bear bar, half of this bull bar. They have taken all the bulls who were holding the positions. They are holding a negative position now. All the bulls who have seen from last 15 minutes getting more and more out of their position, right now they are holding a negative position. So it's a very emotional decision for them. They need to see a bounce here. If the bounce is not coming, they will be aggressively selling this. So that's what happened here. Like over here, if you see, there was a follow through. With this follow through, is this selling or not? Sellers are not selling here because they know the strong bulls will be buying low of the day. But weak bulls who bought here, they are trying to sell this off. Whereas if the bulls would have came in this here, we would have seen the next leg up. That would have been a second entry long. So we would have gone for the next leg up. Right now, as of now, this is not a second entry long. This is again another final push from the bears. You see over here, this is the short covering. Are we buying this? I personally will not buy this. Like I want a second entry. Either we should go above 2 to 3 ticks and show me a confirmation that that candle is closing at its high, and I will buy for the next leg up. I mean, we have seen a lot of bear action, and it's forming a trading range. Like we're almost forming a trading range. We are not closing below the low of the day. So till the time we are not closing below the low of the day, like we are not in the bear trend. We are not looking for a breakout. Maybe all the bulls they have their limit orders to buy 2 3 ticks below, because they know once like this tail, 2 3 ticks low, they bought it, and they know bulls will be aggressively buying here for the next leg up. Reason, because we are in a trading range. All this price action tells us one thing: where we started, there we stand right now. In 2 hours of the trading, there is an indecision candle formed. So right now, bulls or bears, either if bears get their breakout, they will go for the next leg. If bulls get their breakout, they will go for the high of the day. So this is a follow through, like this is the follow through what we saw over here. If you see, like if we have 2 3 ticks here, our target would have been here where we saw the breakout, which is 1861. We saw this tail again, but this is an indecision candle. Are we still looking for a next leg up? Yes, we are looking for the next leg up, but there's something very important to understand here. This price action is a trading range price action. As much as we are looking at, we're going down, we're bouncing. As much as we bounce, we're falling apart. So over here, this was the support, which resistance, which bulls were not able to close above. So I am only long here if we are closing above 1861. We poke through it, we are back. So this is what we are taking our profit from here, 57 to almost about 61, 3 to 4 points. Again, like I mostly look at the market as scalping and very few swings. Like I like to win most of the time. I do not like to lose, because emotionally, if I lose a lot, I might make good money, but emotionally that gives me stress, and I don't want to have a stressful job. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want to have peace what I'm doing. You know. So we saw the follow through, but again, did you see we are not closing above the 1861, and this was the second attempt. We are closing down, but few people. I saw one of the guys who shared the picture. He said this is the push one. Understood. This is the push one, but the push one is looking very weak. You see all these tails. We are not above our target. Whenever we saw the push one, this push one here, you see we are closing near the high. We are closing with the body, but over here the tail, upper tail is bigger than the bottom tail. So like this is kind of a reversal for me. If we do not, I will short the market. 1860, 2 3 ticks below, I will short this market. These tails are confirming us that bulls are weak. Bulls are not closing above the target price, which is 1861. Let's go for the next candle. So we saw kind of a selling here. This is a very predictable sell off. This is push one. Let's say you're counting this as a push one, which most of the people will not be. Reason, this was a push one attempt. This is not the push one attempt, which failed. If you draw the trend line here, let me just show you. If you drawings trend line. If you draw this trend line here, we are failing at this trend line. There are many trend lines which I draw during the day, but I'm not teaching that as of now, because I don't want you guys to confuse too much. You start over analyzing or micro operating your own positions, that can tend to lose a lot. I want you guys to look at the bigger picture, not at the smaller picture, not at the smaller time frames. So the bigger picture is, drawing this trend line will give you a confidence, but if you're drawing a wrong trend lines, you can lose a lot of money as well. So other thing we should look at is the formation of the candles while they are happening. These tails are not good. These tails are not good for the bulls. So we are looking at the breakout. We are looking at the bear breakout. That's not good. So we go for the next leg. We saw a bounce here, so that means bulls are still aggressive to buy at a certain level, which is almost at the near the open of the day. Are we buying this? I will not buy this. Reason, we failed at the push one attempt. This is the first entry. We will go for a second entry. Similar here, like we want to see a second entry. This bear bar has taken almost half of the bull bar here as well. So most of the guys are holding a negative position, and right now they just are breaking even. Whoever bought here, they are almost at the breaking even point. So we need to see a follow through or a second entry long to be long. Not here. This is not a long. This is okay. Let's say we get a second entry long here. Our order should be above this trend line. Above this trend line, 1864, 1863 is a buy for the next leg up. As of now, it's a first entry long, and first entry long often deceives most of the traders. This is what we saw. Is this a second entry? Yes, this is a second entry. This is first. This is a bear stride. They were not able to take the low of this candle. So as long as we are above this candle, our stop is this, this is our stop, we are going long, we know we are going for the next leg up. We are facing this trend line as well. If I draw this trend line a little bit further, because at the time these things are forming, we need to redraw our trend lines. Okay. So this is what we see, like this is at right now, this is at the breakout mode. This is what I normally call a breakout mode. Second entry with a breakout mode. If this breaks out, the next target is this 1866, which is where the bulls failed earlier. This is what we saw. We saw the breakout happening. So this is our push one. We saw the push one here. Now the pullback coming, it's okay, but we know we are going for the next couple of legs. Remember from the day before yesterday video, the confirmed breakout with a follow through will give you at least 2 to 3 pushes. So this is push one now. As long as we are above this trend line, I am long. We saw the follow through. There is a pullback. We saw the follow through, This becomes push 2. We have reached, you see, now we are staying above 1866, which is our target. What's our next target? Our next target is where we failed, which was 1867. We are not closing above 1867. This is the red line, where we saw the breakout. So we should close above that now. So we finally closed above our breakout point. So next target will be 1872. So you see, we almost reached 1872, but before we touched our 1872, we saw this kind of a sell-off. This is not good. This sell-off has put all these bulls into the negative position. So this tells us one thing. This is a push 3. This tells us one thing, that like somehow bulls were not aggressive or not very good. They did not got their target. This was the target. 1872 was the target. They were not able to take the target. So this tells us something, that like we might get a deeper pullback here. This is push 3 as well. Push 1, push 2, push 3. Remember, this is push 1 attempt. This is push 1. We got a breakout. Breakout always give us 2 to 3 pushes. Second push. This is the third push. After third push, often we get deeper pullback. And we got the deeper pullback. This is a buy or not? This just moved forward. This is a buy or not? This is just, look at your left hand side. This is a buy. This is a buy. This is not a buy. We need second entry to buy. This is a shot. We saw this kind of a follow through. I mean, look at these 3-4 candles and look at these 3-4 candles. Similar way, push 3. We saw this. We saw this. This is a short covering. How similar things can get. This is okay. Now, very important, like we saw this is push 1, this is push 2, but after the push 2, we saw that this is going for the next leg up. There is no follow through, there is no push 3 down. So as of now, it looks like bulls are again buying back into the picture where they had their breakout, and the breakout point was this. If you go back and look at my yesterday's video, breakout point, if we reach to our breakout point, most of the times bulls come very aggressively to buy. They come very, very aggressively to buy and go for the next leg up. Over here, this was our breakout point, right? So at the breakout point, once we reached again our breakout point, which is here, bulls started buying, looking for the next leg up. That this is a very, very good support. I would have bought this thing. Normally, I do not trade this hour. This hour is 11 to 2:30. It's a deceiving time. I have traded so many years. I lost so much money during this time. I really do not like to trade this. So we saw there is no follow through. These trend lines I have drawn afterwards. While this is occurring, I mean, people would have bought this low as well, putting a stop here. So this is getting into a tight range. Most of the traders should not be trading this, should not be trading this whatsoever. Now, very important, like we failed here. This is the push one. We failed here. This is the push two. We failed here. This is the push 3 where I mentioned on my Twitter account that we are getting a breakout. But there, it was just the beginning of the 5-minute candle. At the end of a candle, we saw this kind of a tail at the top. Whenever we saw this kind of a tail at the top, this tail is very similar to this tail. Tail, little bit body, and very little tail at the bottom. Very little tail at the bottom. And this is the breakout failed attempt. This is the failed breakout attempt. And if we break through this trend line, we will see a next leg down. But remember, this thing here, this trend line here is a support. Why this is a support? Because we failed once here at a breakout point, but bulls were buying around this area. When bulls are buying around this area, that means we can get some kind of a bounce around this area. Every time you make a decision for your right hand side, you need to look at your left hand side as well. That what bulls or bears did at that price action. Over here, we are looking for the breakout. So it closed almost below our trend line. 2 tick below is a short. And this is what we saw. 2 tick below, 3 ticks below. We saw the short. We made almost about 60. We made almost about 2 to 3 points. Again, I'm not trying to teach scalping, but I'm trying to give you scenarios. This is the time period when I'm not even trading. Like this is a failed breakout. This is a failed breakout is a short. But this candle here closing below the trend line is a confirmed that bears are going for the next leg down. So these are the tails. Remember, we have this price range where we might see a next push. So below this point or below low of the day, so two targets for the bears, 1856, and the other target is 1852. Okay, we bounced here. Is it a buy? This is not exactly a buy, but definitely as it's coming to the support, making double bottom. Like few people can buy 2 to 3 tick up. Like if they get filled, they will go for the next leg up. Sometimes there is a fake fill as well. Like most of the traders should not trade this kind of a price action. I would have traded. I might have traded very small amount here as well. I would have got filled. Like scale lower, my stop would have been 1856, and I would have seen this kind of a push. And most of you guys would have seen as well. This is the second entry, but this is a second entry. Now listen, this is a second entry, but second entry is looking like an exhaustion candle as well. It's a very big candle. Normally we are not getting that kind of a candles, and still we have not breaked a breakout above our trend line where we failed. So for me, are we bullish? We look bullish, but we will be confirmed in bull trend if we take this trend line. Till the time we have not taken this trend line, till the time there is no breakout, there is no breakout. So right now we should not be having any positions. We are trying for the breakout. If the breakout closes above this trend line, we'll go for long. If it doesn't, we'll go short. So you see, 2 candles. All the bulls who were holding a good profit positions, they are holding either a negative or a break-even positions. And this is their support. This is the trend line, and below this they will sell. Bears will sell, bulls will sell, everybody will be selling below this. We have failed here again. That's the third, fourth time we have failed to close above our trend line. And this is what happened. Like this is a breakout. This is a breakout. After a breakout, what happens? After a breakout, we get at least 2 to 3 pushes. Breakout failed again. After a breakout failed, we get a deeper pullback. Breakout failed, we get a deeper pullback. Took the support, we had the breakout. From the breakout, the first candle from the breakout is always a short. Breakout, this is a breakout, this is a breakout. Every breakout, the next bull candle is not a buying. It's a bounce where short covering is happening and people are selling. You sell here, you make money. This is a sell. Like this is a push 2. This is push 1, push 2. We are going down. There you go. And I mean, this is the end of the day. Like we have taken our support here as well. Like we're going down. So basically, if you see, there are very few setups, like it's been like it's been years I have been trading this, few days, we do get this kind of a tight ranges. My course is coming out, like which will be available to you guys, in which there will be a very simple methodology which I'll be sharing with you guys step by step. You do not I cannot give you a book for medical school today when you're in high school. Like let's say like you are in a high school but you are preparing for your med school. So that's what we need to do. We need to prepare for prepare slowly, and whatever we are learning, these push 1, push 2, push 3, breakout, failed breakout, slowly let's start getting these things, gap fills, major trend reversals, like channels, wedges, like parabolic wedge. There is a lot to learn. I'm still learning, like I believe I'm still learning, like, and there's a lot to learn. I do not want to go too much technical with you guys, so that what I'm teaching, it gets more confusing and you guys get lost, because I struggled hard, like I struggled hard, and I have learned in a very layman language. I used to talk to myself hours and hours, that what do I get into this, what exactly the meaning coming up. I would advise you all, before you guys see my video, start questioning yourself, that what do you see, after making your own video comparison with me, like, well, what is SK saying, like, so that we can grow together, so that we can have a meaningful discussion a year down the lane, where we all maybe meeting in Florida or something, like having a weekend and talking about stocks, and like and having a good time, laughing about this last year that we all did very good, like, and start enjoying our success towards financial freedom, and it is possible. I'm a very simple guy. I'm a high school dropout. If I can do it, trust me, there are a lot many good traders who can do it very, very, very well than me, like, and this all belongs to you guys. Let's focus and let's start making money. Every trade will not be profitable. At the end of a day, if we are in profit, that's all we should look for. Thank you. Bye bye.